Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Captain Geyser, and I'm the captain in charge of the training center here. I'd like to welcome all the family members and friends of our newest hirees here. And we'll get them in here. All right. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, you can have a seat. I'd like to introduce the mayor of Akron, Mayor Douglas Ball.
I'm always pleased to be at an event like this that gives me hope after some days of frustration and difficulty and wondering sometimes about this world we live in and where we're going, to see that there are people still interested in providing service for this community, to provide the kinds of reaction that is needed at the spur of the moment, to be called out and to do what is necessary after a long training program of figuring out what it is they need to do and how to use a needle and how to respond in certain cases with a mask and all of the technical things that firefighters learn that, quite frankly, there's one individual here that I'm guessing when he first came on, they probably handed him a suit and a hat maybe and said, okay, you're a firefighter. Today's world, these young people are going to learn everything imaginable about materials that most of us couldn't pronounce, how to resuscitate and keep people alive, and to do things that are almost like doctors. And so I really appreciate and thank and congratulate the individuals that we have here today. I see all of the various parents and children and friends, and I'm sure you are as proud of them as anyone should be about a young person completing their training and being at this point where they're about to be sworn in. And I want to congratulate you and thank you for the support that I'm sure that you've given these young people during this time. To the new recruits, I know that most of you have done this sort of the hard way. You've sacrificed on your own time, and for those that maybe are in the wrong place and you don't know where you are and why you're here, because you're probably the only one that doesn't know this, we've done it a little differently this time to save a little money. Our society is different. Our reaction to things is different now. We have the lowest number of firefighters and the lowest number of police officers, not because anybody dislikes those individuals, but because of our budget crunch. And so as we adjust, and I adjust to the first time in 40 years a mayor hasn't had a full-time scheduler and other things that we've taken for granted, we also have changed the training program to have the individuals who you see here who've completed their training basically on their own time. Even though we've paid for it, it still is a sacrifice. And as I recall the days, not too many years ago it seems, that I went to law school at night, I sacrificed, my family's kids sacrificed, and others sacrificed around me, but I would argue that in the end it's worth it. And I would congratulate you for completing your training, albeit in a different way. I think you are all proof that sometimes in life we can do things differently, even though we've always done it this way. That in today's world doesn't allow us to continue, because what we were able to do with the money that we saved, the way we used to do it, was hire probably at least one or two of you additionally to what we could have afforded. So while I'm sure that you will sit around some fire station and talk and hear stories about how it used to be, this is the more difficult world that we all live in. And so I appreciate all of you working with us. This, in my opinion, is one of the best jobs in many ways that you can have. Because while our society follows and we have, you know, little cards and people collect and they do all kinds of things and they pay people too much money for scoring touchdowns and hitting baseballs and scoring baskets, and we call them our heroes, you literally will become our community's heroes. You will respond in those difficult times. You will do things that you probably right now can't even imagine that you will have to face. And I can say that not from firsthand knowledge, although I've been at a number of incidents. I have a close personal friend whose father is the last Akron firefighter to have died in action. I was there that night. I know how difficult it has been on his family ever since to live with that. I have a close personal friend, my former college roommate, who just retired about a year ago from department in Boston, near Boston, a suburb of Boston. I've talked with him many times, he and his brother who served, and my son-in-law is a firefighter. So while I am not walking in your shoes, I have some idea what it's like for my daughter to never know when her husband leaves, whether or not he'll return. And that is the difficult task that many of you family members will have to know and understand. But I hope that you also understand that it's something in our society that we need to honor, that we need to make sure that people know that these are the individuals that will be responding and give them the credit that they are due. I will tell you one thing, 25 years seems like a long time. I look around and see all of you. You're young, your life is before you, but 25 years comes like a snap of the fingers in many ways. And 25 years from now, I want you to be able to look in the faces of the people who are here supporting you and have the same sense of pride coming back as you look in their faces as you will have today whenever you're sworn in and you look at this crowd. And you know how you have to do that? You have to come to work every day and do a good job, and those crucial points where you have a decision to make about right and wrong, you make the right decision. And I will guarantee you that if you do that and you look at solving problems instead of becoming one of the problems, if you look at challenges, whatever they may be, budget problems, figure out ways to help solve those problems, you will feel more proud of yourself, and the community and your friends and relatives will feel proud of you also. Now, I've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of things. I've been around so long that they told me that there's an individual here that you probably don't remember, as if I was forgetful in my old age, but I want to recognize third generation of an individual, and I mostly don't like to talk about individuals. When my own son-in-law was sworn in, I didn't talk about it because I didn't want to embarrass anybody, but I think it is worth noting for all of us that there's a third generation of a family, a third generation of this family serving in this community. And they thought I was going to forget that we had a district chief, George Willoughby, who I pointed out right away. I looked for you, I found you right away. I'm not as forgetful as you think.
Thank you.
Who is here today, and his son Don, right behind him, who is a lieutenant. And we should thank them for their service, both continuing in many ways, but it's an interesting thing that families who take this difficult task and sacrifice find it's worthwhile to have future generations do the same thing, because I believe it can be as rewarding as anything that you could have chosen as your life's work. Let me, there's two other firefighters today that also have Akron Fire Department family connections. Michael Fuller has two uncles that are or were with the department, and I apologize, I don't know if Kenneth Fuller is retired. Is he here? I'm sorry. I thought I recognized you from somewhere else. I got you mixed up with somebody else. But David is still with us as a firefighter, and we appreciate their family commitment. And lastly, Jeffrey Goskowski has a brother, Kevin, who's been on the Akron Fire Department since 2000. And it must be a pretty good job if they keep telling people, come on, and you can do this too. Is this the part I call on you to speak?
I know. I just wanted to point out, that my son Don is a firefighter, and I'm very proud of that. But it's Casey, my grandson, and his dad is James Willoughby, a captain on Akron Fire. But I didn't want to.
I don't know how I missed that. Did I say that wrong? Maybe I just didn't read it right. Okay, thanks. Captain Willoughby. Let me say one last thing. I touched on it earlier. This is a difficult time, and I hope you always remember that the people you serve, beyond protecting each other, which is obviously at a particular moment, is as important as anything you will do, especially as firefighters, because you depend on each other as a team. But you also work for the taxpayers of Akron. And I hope every day you understand it and appreciate your responsibility to them. Does that mean you have to work for free? No. Does that mean you have to do things, beyond a normal human being? No. Although some days you will. It means, though, that you need to appreciate this is public service. All of us are public servants. We serve the taxpayers. Are they wrong sometimes? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You ought to listen to my phone sometime. Listen to some of the kooks that call there. You never believe it. But as a whole, are they good, honorable, hardworking people in the city of Akron who support you and will, if you give them the type of service that they request and demand and expect? Absolutely, and I believe that with everything in me. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you for your willingness to serve. And I'd ask you now to please rise, and I will administer the oath of office. If you would, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, in your full name, do solemnly pledge upon my honor that I will uphold and support the Constitution of the United States, and the laws thereof, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and the laws thereof, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Akron, and the rules and regulations of the Akron Fire Department, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge and perform the duties of a firefighter medic to the best of my ability. I do so pledge. Congratulations. Why don't you turn around? Turn around. Okay, you may be seated, and I'd like to bring to the podium your boss. So this is your first opportunity as official firefighters. You are official. This is sort of a ceremonial thing to put the badge on. You are firefighter medics in the city of Akron. Be proud of it. But let me tell you something. No matter what anybody else says, this is your boss, Chief Ross.
Thank you, Mayor. Got to acquiesce to my old age. Certainly, I'd like to thank you, Mayor, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to come here and assist us with this ceremony, the honorable ceremony that it is. I'd also like to take a second to talk to everybody a little bit about the building you're sitting in right now. We call it the Woodford Center. It formerly was an Army Reserve Center, for those that might not remember that. It was named in honor of Staff Sergeant Howard Woodford, killed in the Philippines in June of 1945 and awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. This place served the Army for a number of years, and when the Army had to downsize and eliminate this facility, we were fortunate enough in the fire department to have this facility granted to us to use as a training facility. So something that I think is very important here is that for many, many years, thousands and thousands of Army soldiers received training and passed through this facility in preparation to serve. And now we're able to continue that tradition of using it as a training facility to prepare those to serve now, not just soldiers, but soldiers of our fire department. So I think that's very important. As the mayor indicated, this group was trained somewhat differently than the way we've done it in the past. Certainly, it demonstrated a commitment to us in fire administration and city administration that these individuals were willing to sacrifice their own time to go to school and strive to be the firefighters that they now are. Formerly, we hired people and put them through about a 3-month program where they were paid that entire time. This group did not do that. The other thing I'd like to recognize is this group waited quite a long time to get their jobs. Unfortunately, we're living through some tough times. We're hoping we're on the rebound, but we actually even experienced a layoff in between the time these individuals took the test and where we are today. So I think it speaks to their perseverance that they continued to remain eligible to become firefighters as they are today. You just were administered an oath of office, and I want to remind everybody that that's a solemn oath. It's not an oath to me, it's not even an oath to the mayor. As he mentioned, we serve the citizens of Akron. I believe in that oath. I've taken it several times with sometimes a different moniker at the end of it, based on my rank. But it's an oath I still take seriously, and I expect every one of you to take seriously for the duration of your careers. It's a fantastic job, as evidenced by the mayor spoke about families being involved, including my own. I'm third generation myself as a firefighter within Akron. I'm very proud of that. Unfortunately, my girls did not decide to go this direction, and who knows, they might have continued it further. But it is a proud job, regardless of whether your father, your uncle, your sister, whatever may have been on the job. We really appreciate the support all of the citizens give us, because when we have asked for things, we've received them. Likewise, city administration. The things that we need to carry out our sworn duty, the mayor, the rest of the city administration does what they can to make sure we have the tools and things we need to serve all of you, and we really appreciate that. And again, I want to also congratulate you on what you've achieved so far, and look forward to serving as the chief for as long as I'll be here, and hope that someday one of you might be standing up here giving a similar speech to a similar group of people. Thank you very much. Now we're going to go ahead and do the pinning of the badges. So if I could have some assistance from Captain Geiser, who I'd like to take this quick opportunity to introduce some of the other folks up here. Captain Les Geiser, who currently is the manager out here at training school. Also, I have Deputy Chief Ed Hiltbrand, Deputy Chief Dale Evans, and Captain Rick Vogel, who's our Department Safety Officer. We have all worked together to do what we can to serve the citizens of Akron, and we're a very good, close-knit team. And I appreciate all that Captain Geiser has done in the development of these individuals right here too, because although they might have attended Akron U or some other fire school to get their basic certification, there's the right way, there's the wrong way, there's the Akron way. George, you've heard that before, haven't you? And Captain Geiser helped them with the Akron way. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and pin on the badges. If when an individual is called, if there's a family member that would like to do that on their behalf, you're welcome to come up and pin the badge. So that's if you kind of introduce them and pass it on.
First Cadet Timothy Johnson.
We haven't done this one. Chief, you're on the other side.
Firefighter Timothy Johnson. Cadet Ryan Glazier.
Boy, Ron wrapped these up. Wow. Way to go, Ron.
Firefighter Ryan Glazier. Cadet James Remick. Firefighter James Remick. Cadet Michael Fuller.
Michael's going to be pinned by his uncle, Kenny, retired active firefighter.
Firefighter Michael. Cadet Casey Willoughby.
Your old badge, would it? 20-some years ago, this was given to me. I couldn't be more proud of that. Give it a chest.
Firefighter Casey Willoughby. Cadet Kyle Bresnay. Firefighter Kyle Bresnan. Cadet Christian Gratchen. Better known as Gratcha Hannah. Firefighter Christian Gratcha Hannah. Cadet Jeffrey Keel.
We're gonna have to do training for parents next time.
Firefighter Jeffrey Keel. Cadet Enrique Green.
Oh, she's trying to shirt.
Firefighter Enrique Green. Cadet Dustin Davies. Firefighter Dustin Davies. Cadet Jeffrey Gaskowski.
And by his brother, Pat. Look at this camera, two times and get that one, okay? Here we go. All right, and
Firefighter Jeffrey Gaskowski. Cadet Mark Hoffman.
and by his mother Jill, who I went to school with, but she's much younger than I am.
Firefighter Mark Hoffman. Cadet Matthew Yule.
And by his mother.
Must be.
Two pictures. Enjoy the moment. There you go. There you go.
Firefighter Matthew Yule.
Well, now we're going to have the firefighters, no longer cadets, come up and sign their oaths of office. We have to do that to make it all official. And we certainly thank everybody for coming and attending. And if you did not have an opportunity to tour the facility before the ceremony began, we encourage you, please walk around, look around. There's going to be a bunch of folks here that can answer questions about the facility. We have a lot of pictures, a lot of memorabilia. This is more or less our de facto fire department museum now. So, again, appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. Everybody come on up here. We'll get a picture with the mayor and us.